Welcome back to Splatterhouse. Rick's finally fought his way to the heart of the Splatterhouse itself, and today I have with me a guest.
Hello.
That's Kaboom Dragoon. He's been the thread's Splatterhouse historian.
Yeah, didn't actually realise how much I knew about the series until this thread came along. So that was kind of weird.
Yep, it's been a help because I never played this game until I started the Let's Play, so...
Truth be told, I didn't actually get to play this myself until the second one came out. I had a friend who would come over every weekend when I was about 10 or 11, I think. And he'd bring over his Mega Drive, Genesis in the States, and we'd just play it constantly.
This one only came out on the, TurboGrafx 16, I think?
Yep, that was never released in the UK or Europe.
Ah, nice. So have you ever played this first Splatterhouse game?
I've played it in the arcades, played it on MAME, but I don't know as much about this one as I do later games, to be honest. But I know, as I said, I've read enough about it over the years that I kind of know it without having played it extensively.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky you haven't played this particular level because it is obnoxious as all hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the enemies in this level are these bubbles that just keep spawning out of the floor and ceiling.
Yeah, you got those creepy goo fetuses chasing after you left and right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the bubbles are meant to represent ovum because they sort of, grow out of the womb thing and then they hatch into horrible little fetus monsters.
Yeah.
It's pretty awful.
Yeah, I think this is all the other stages were your classic 80s, 70s and 80s slasher movies, and this one kind of feels more like Lucio Fulci.
Yeah, definitely.
This is like Suspiria level shit going on here.
Yeah, I think this would give Cronenberg nightmares.
Actually, funnily enough, I've been watching a lot of Cronenberg, so I don't know, subconsciously stealing myself for this.
He's one of the horror greats.
Yep.
But this level just really drags on and on. The little fetuses, they hug onto you, and you have to shake the control stick back and forth to get them off of you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they keep damaging you.
Always the worst kind of enemy in any kind of game, and especially, like a coin muncher like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's the absolute last thing.
Yep. But we did finally make it to the end here. And it's a horrible screaming heart.
Yeah, I remember I was watching someone do set the world record high score for the arcade game, and she spent most of her time with the final boss. The goo fetuses respawn infinitely. So she spent most of her time punching those and just milking that for points.
Yeah. I could see that working out.
Yeah.
Same with the church boss, the cross thing.
Yep.
Good place to farm for points. Now, the raw video for this, that was edited down to the 10 minutes that we've got here, was 53 minutes.
Yep, I can imagine that quite easily.
Yeah, I'm terrible at this level. I eventually worked out the strategy of sticking to the right side of the screen and just, working off of one front there.
Yeah, hoping to scroll everything else
well
off
enough.
screen.
Yeah, exactly. They actually don't scroll off screen, no matter how far you get away from them, they keep coming at you.
Delightful.
Until you get to the heart.
I think the second one was almost a carbon copy of this, but I think it was slightly fairer with the enemies.
I should hope so. This is one of the most random sections in the entire game.
Yeah. I don't remember any sections with infinitely spawning enemies off the top of my head.
Yeah. Well, that remains to be seen, because I haven't played that one yet either.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
So I've heard. I've pretty much got the ideal pattern going on here. I was pretty lucky that I was able to pop all the bubbles as they were spawning.
Yeah. Well,
in the TurboGrafx version of that one, the goo that spits out actually hurts you. So I was expecting that, so I jumped out of the way.
Nice final fuck you.
Yeah, basically. Doesn't happen in this version, though.
Small favors and all that.
This is actually the very last level of the game, and this is the very first time I'm ever seeing it on this recording here.
Oh.
which is why I don't know what to do with these flaming guys, and I'm running straight into them trying to fight them. That doesn't work.
Yeah. To be honest, all I remember of the final stage is the final boss.
Yeah, the rest of the stage is pretty forgettable.
For reasons.
Yeah.
But
the boss is unforgettable.
Oh, yeah. If you know, you know. If you don't, stay tuned. I honestly, I couldn't remember if you could punch those guys or not.
Yeah, I tried a bunch of times. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. There's an enemy in the second game, and I think in the third as well, who's basically exactly like these guys, but you can kill them, and they make the most annoying sound. I don't know their official name, but everyone I've spoken to and everything I've seen calls them Screaming Mutants.
This game does have a lot of annoying sounds. As great as the sound design is, sometimes it just goes annoying for no reason.
Yeah, the music's pretty good, but the enemy noises can set your teeth on edge, I found.
Yeah. I think they're supposed to, but they did a little too well.
Yep.
So here's our last boss.
Yep.
For some reason, the mask summoned him to fight us.
Yeah.
It's
it's just kind of, right, where the hell did he come from, exactly?
Yeah.
A couple of fun things about him. The soundtrack, admittedly, I mentioned it in the thread, but the soundtrack was mostly compiled by fans. And the theme that you're listening to is known as the Requiem of Captain Mozzarella, which is the boss's unofficial name.
Yeah, you can see why. He
Yeah.
looks like a pizza that's been thrown against the wall.
Yeah. He's also regularly compared to Marilyn Manson. And for the longest time, I honestly thought this piece of music was called Red Fire, because it sounds like that's what the boss is shouting at you every so often. But, yeah, and he's dead.
I took him down. I had a lot of close calls in that fight, too, but this is the first time I ever killed him, and I'm celebrating by jumping around like a jackass.
Yeah, the boss is heavily pattern-based, more so than any other in the game, I think.
Well, he can, his arms can pin you up against the face, and then the falling rocks can come and hit you, and then you'll just die.
Yeah.
I had a lot of runs ruined that way.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of early arcade games. Stun locking was a thing that they either hadn't bothered to deal with or liked, because it meant that you'd be pouring in more coins.
More quarters, yeah. There we go. I'm glad we were silent for that musical drop, because it's one of the best in the series.
Yeah. Final theme, in case anyone's interested, is called "This Story is Happy End." Question mark and everything. It's like, oh?
Glorious.
And the continue theme the fans called "Need More Quarters." So, there you go. Fun facts.
Yep. I think it was a really good game. I thought it held up pretty well, playing it for the first time in, 2012.
Yeah, as I said, the game is heavily pattern-based.
Yeah.
The second one, the controls are a lot better, basically. And because as far as I'm aware, it came out first on a home console. It never came out in the arcades. So
yeah,
it was a lot fairer.
Yeah.
And the third one's just completely different, so never mind that.
Yep. Looking forward to that. The ending of this game is impressively final.
Yeah.
The mask exploded, the house burned down, the girl's dead. They got nothing to go on at this point.
Pretty much.
It really seemed like they wanted to end the series because they thought they couldn't top themselves.
There were rumors, as I recall, that there was some kind of secret ending because everything just comes across as so final.
Yeah.
But no, nothing ever came of that. So when the second game came along, they were like, shit, what do we do now? Retcon!
Well, the next game in the series actually isn't the second game, as we'll be seeing next time.
That's going to be a fun one.
Ugh, I'm not looking forward to it. But we do have the requisite horror movie tease at the end here. Terrifying.
Frankly, I'm on the edge of my seat in fear.
Well, we're going to see how they pick up the ball that they left here.
And do they
Next
ever.
time in, yep, Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti.